We're about to go live. Yo, what is up, sleepers? It's your boy Ed here in the sleeping cinema with my sleepy friends. Who do I have with me today? Troy Bolton. Both Troy Bolton and Zac Efron. Hey, we got a crazy cast today. So, there will be timestamps in the description for our review if anybody wants to skip ahead to that. But for now, let's buy some tickets and grab our favorite concessions. How's y'all's week been? That's good. IT positions? Hell yeah. Well, I hope you get something because those can pay pretty well. You hear that? If any IT CEOs listening, hire my friend here. He can defo play games on the job for you. He can steal company time. He can. don't let the Mr. Gentex hear about this. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, me too. I haven't been doing anything too crazy this week. I'm trying to think back, and no, nothing too insane. I've been doing a lot more reading lately. Yeah, actually, just yesterday at the Grand Rapids Public Library, the main branch right in front of GRCC, they had a book sale where it was 50 cents a book. So I got like a big stack of books. I got a few about astronomy, astrophysics, some about history and things like that. So a lot of educational stuff is what I ended up buying. So I'm pretty excited to start reading those. Oh yeah. Yeah, you both been playing what's that? Well, name some of the big ones that you've been playing recently. The ones you've spent the most time. Your Monster Hunter TikToks have been doing well. Finally. Let me know when those streams start. I just saw they came out with a new one, right? That like a it was like a tactics kind of one. Oh, okay. That looks pretty sick. Just keep buying, dude, and play for an hour. Oh my god. So many games, dude. Really? It's taking me a while. I haven't finished it yet, but it's taking me. This is like one of the games that I am exploring like everything in Ghost of Tsushima. Wait, there's so there's a mode where you can change in Ghost of Yote where you can change the image, added film grain, and altered sound mixing to do Samurai Champloo. That's pretty cool. Oh hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Seven Samurai. I recommend that movie. It's pretty good. It's a Kurosawa film. It's got a little bit of a slow. Yeah, it's long. It's got a little bit of a slow build up, but once all the samurai get together, it gets pretty sick. So yeah, it's been the week of gaming, it sounds like. It's also been incredibly hot for October, which is a little worrying. It's it's like record heat. It was like 80 some degrees in October. Dang. If it was just Alexi, he'd be living like a hermit, have the just the windows open. Living the Mr. Krabs lifestyle. You just love torturing yourself. You're like, I'm not gonna eat. I'm not gonna pay for. Gotta get the PC edition. Gotta get the PlayStation edition. Gotta get the. Yeah, it'll probably be a while. Mm-mm. I didn't either. So with that, let's take our seats and let's get into these trailers. Any new movies, TV shows, or video games y'all are looking forward to? Pokemon Z. I feel like you've been saying that for a year. I feel like I ask this every week, but when does the Pokemon game come out? Okay, wow, there's a lot releasing this month. It has taken forever. This better live up to the hype. No bugs on day one. You want it to be a surprise. I know, so many. Yeah, data miners specifically for Pokemon. There's so many. Are you calling into work to play this? That's surprising. What? Alexi's got a Pokey Queen to play with? Wouldn't- All right. Oh shit. So let's start with our first trailer. We got Frankenstein. So that releases November 7th. Yeah, this looks pretty good. So Guillermo del Toro is back, and he's got Oscar Isaac, which is Moon Knight, in this one, Mia Goth, and a few others. And honestly, I think the trailer looks pretty awesome. It looks to follow the book a little more closely than some other Frankenstein media. Oh, that comes out next year. Oh, okay. Two Frankenstein movies. We're getting spoiled, I guess. Yeah, it looks goofy. Yeah, no. I'm actually hyped about this Netflix one. Hopefully it's get a I don't know much about it. I hope it gets a theater release. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's much more gothic than a lot of other Frankenstein media. Yeah. Um, we also have the thing with feathers. So let me go through the plot here. So this is the Benedict Cumberbatch left to raise two young sons after the unexpected death of his wife. Dad's life begins to unravel. Grief is messy and chaotic enough as it is, but when it takes the form of an unhinged and unwanted house guest, Crow, taunting him from the shadows, things start to spiral out of control. But maybe that's exactly what Dad needs. It releases Black Friday of this year. Yeah, it's it's very much kind of like a slice of life movie. It sounds like where um, it's going to be a lot of symbolism. Is what I'm guessing, just because the crow already represents his grief. So, oh, and apparently there's a book about it. Yeah, there's a book for a lot of these movies these days. Oh yeah, the Imitation Game. That was a good movie. I thought about having that movie um, as our uh, group movie watch party movie, but yeah, but I'm like, everybody talks so much. I feel like a lot of this dialogue would get lost. Oh, Mystery Science Theater. Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yeah, we need over the top. We need just something to keep the ADHD engaged the whole time. We need that machine from Clockwork Orange where your eyes are just stuck open. Uh, anyways, moving moving on. Excellent commentary. I don't get it. Then a big ol' yawn. Let's get into what are you guys' thoughts before watching the Smashing Machine? Smashing. Oh, good point. I think it wasn't? No. Something Iron Claw, right? That's the one with Troy Bolton as the wrestler. Troy Bolton. I was interested to watch this movie because it's A24, and so with that in mind, I was like, okay, this isn't like a blockbuster like Dwayne normally does. This is gonna be a weirder script, because obviously it's going through A24. So I was like, does Dwayne have the talent to pull this off? Was my thought process. Hmm. Which, funny enough, Jungle Cruise, both him and Emily Blunt co-starred in that movie together, and now they're back together in this one. Yeah, now they're back together in this one. Was it the Bevel? So with that, let's get into the spoiler-free review. So spoiler-free review of The Smashing Machine, released October 3rd of 2025, starring Dwayne Johnson, directed by Benny Safdie, rated R. Plot summary: the story of mixed martial arts and UFC champion Mark Kerr. What are you guys' overall thoughts without any spoilers? I don't like how that part of your life happened and I had to watch it. I'm telling Mark. He's gonna come beat you up. Yeah, it looked like WWE. Hmm. I agree with that about the action sequences. I do enjoy the dialogue. I think um Emily Blunt and Dwayne work really well off of each other. Every scene that they're in together gets really tense, and like the strangers I was sitting next to would even like kind of just sit up a little bit. I would notice like people would just kind of stiffen around me whenever there was these interactions between these two characters. Um, I don't know about shaking violently, but yeah, no, um, I think in terms of playing a more humble character, Dwayne did this pretty well because he's in these movies he's pretty braggadocious. He's takes up a lot of the screen and a lot of the spotlight, but in this one, I think he's yeah. And the theme of the about this whole one, yeah, the theme about this one is dealing with loss. So I think it did really well in that regard. So basically, all the non-fighting scenes for me were amazing. All the fighting scenes, like you all were saying, was eh. I also liked some of the music. The ambiance on some of these soundtracks was pretty cool. What do you guys rate it out of 10? I'm I'm thinking 7.8. I enjoyed it. Let's look at some online ratings. The critics for Metascore 66 out of 100. Rotten Tomatoes Tomato Meter 73. Audience at an IMDb 7.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomato audience 78. So the average of all these scores 72. So with that, let's get into the spoiler field discussion. Let's take an in-depth review of the Smashing Machine. So, earning the nickname the Smashing Machine for his brutal relentlessness, Mark Kerr is competing first in a no-holds-bar tournament later in Japan, but starting with the Brazil scenes. What did you all think about kind of the debut fight and then them setting up his addiction to drugs afterwards? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they didn't say how long that program was. At least I don't remember how long it was. It was a little confusing, yeah. Um, Kerr becomes one of the most feared and admired fighters of his era. His victories bring fame, money, and and his partner Don Staples. Um, a recovering alcoholic who clings to their volatile relationship as a lifeline. So, you didn't like Don? Yeah, well, they both fed off of each other's negative energy because they were both had their own addiction and struggles going on, and they just kind of enabled each other to kind of continue their destructive behavior. So they were both at a place where they weren't necessarily emotionally mature enough to handle their struggles and even their feelings. So this is where a lot of those tense scenes happen when they're together. There's always like a fight that's starting, and it gets really messy. But I think that's the part that I really enjoy about this movie is that it can show how real some of these arguments can be when these relationships are built with like addiction or other issues. So, haunted by constant injuries and pressure to maintain his dominance, Kerr develops a dependency on painkillers and narcotics. Between bouts, he hides in a hotel room, injecting opioids, his body covered in bruises and scarred. Don urges him to oh, yeah. I said Don urges him to stop fighting, but Kerr insists that violence is all he knows. Their relationship deteriorates, like we were talking about, amid jealousy, arguments, and drug-fueled breakdowns. Well, it sounds like the opioids just kind of mellow him out. So I'm not really sure what rage or frustration looks like on those kind of drugs. You feel me? Yeah, on something. Maybe like a quick shot of him injecting and then panning over to the next scene of their argument or whatever. Yeah, and during these scenes, you can see this kind of codependency that they develop for each other, him and Don, where Don needs to take care of Mark, but also, you know, there is this there is her well there is this her comfort with this lifestyle of having all this wealth and stuff like that. And that's kind of the some of the issues in the relationship is that they're not always communicating, and when they do, they don't really resolve anything because no actions are taken to correct their behavior. So, let's see. So back in Japan, after suffering his first major loss in Japan, Kerr spirals further into addiction and self-loathing. His lifelong partner and friends, training partner and friend Mark Coleman tries to intervene, but Kerr's behavior grows erratic. He experiences hallucinations, paranoia. Um, During a tournament, he overdoses before a match, collapses in his hotel room, and narrowly survives. So, what did y'all think when you woke up in the hospital after his overdose? Yeah. Oh, but even before that, what did you guys think about his first loss? Hmm. He also had a he also had a really big ego where he's like, I can't even imagine what losing feels like, what it would be like. Yeah, but even if you haven't, I feel like there's a certain point where you're like, oh well, I guess I'll just get back up or whatever. You know, you just show that you're mentally, yeah, you're mentally strong enough to continue. Yeah, and to see his whole world come crashing down because he was unable to live up to his own expectations. Yeah, he still had money. Still, they evicted him. That he wasn't emotionally mature enough to deal with the loss. The undefeated champ. The undefeated champ is no longer undefeated, but he didn't lose either. It was uncontested. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Quite a few of them. After they just announced they weren't going to do that. Yeah, yeah, because they did make a big deal about that scene where they were explaining the new rules. So yeah. So yeah, he wakes up in the hospital. He has a mental breakdown in front of Mark, who just wants him to get better. I think Mark, yeah, and I think Mark really shines in this movie. He's always just like a dependable friend throughout the whole thing. Did yeah, yeah, no, he was pretty cool, but determined to recover, Kerr checks into rehabilitation and briefly withdraws from fighting. Don relapses into drinking, and their bond fractures completely. When Kerr attempts a comeback, he is no longer the same athlete. Slower, anxious, and haunted by memories of what he once was. His next fights ends in humiliation, with younger opponents overpowering him as the crowd that once cheered him on now watches in silence. Yeah, this is Kerr's. I guess that's stuff that they said that they didn't show. Uh, Rocky. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, he begins. Yeah, it was really motivational. He begins training with local wrestlers at a rundown gym. His face, um, uh, you, or sorry, he in recovery, with a what I think is his old coach or something. Yeah. Hmm. Um, yeah, I think that's the next part too. Yeah, I it's it's interesting to see because he's trying to better himself, but then he's trying to go back to Don too, and everybody's kind of like hesitant about him returning to that relationship. Yeah. So yeah, Don comes back to the gym, apologizing for the behavior between both of them. Because before he left, they had a bad fight. It's like that fight's the last straw. There's no more. Well, maybe Mark went back because he felt emotionally ready to try and be present in their relationship. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to break out of the cycle, and certainly hard to get out of what you're comfortable with already. So, yeah, I think it could. Yeah, it could also be that he's just falling back into the same old habits. So, hmm yeah, he cut his training short a little bit to go back home with her. But they also show a scene of him kind of having um, the full confidence of being sober in the sense that he was able to administer pain medication to his coach without. So then back in Japan, the final tournament continues, and everybody's talking about how Mike and Mark are going to be the two final contestants in this elimination style tournament. Only for it to end up that Mark Kerr actually ends up losing to his opponent, kind of in the same position that he lost to his previous opponent. hmm But it's history. It already happened. Yeah. hmm Yeah, he was looking good in that fight for the first half of it, but once he got yeah, he couldn't break free of his own mind to actually move his body. Um, so as Mark goes to uh, so as Mark Coleman goes to win the championship, um, Kerr is yeah, Kerr ends up getting stitches and is content with his lifestyle and the way things turned out. He finds that sort of peace in losing. So in that regard, it was like a slice of life sort of ending where it's like, all right, well, things are gonna be all right. At the end of the movie, yeah, at the very end, they show the real Mike Kerr saying goodbye to the the audience. So, what are you guys' final ratings for this movie? Eepy boy. This is why it's the Sleeping Cinema podcast. So with that, let's move on to content we've seen this week. What are some shows or movies y'all watched this week? Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. I haven't even seen that. Oh, dang. Still pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of them are better left short. Really? Terrifier was also originally a short film. It's called The Ninth Circle. Yeah, it's on YouTube for free. What? Alexi changes his opinion on trash movies? Yeah. Like like the Martin Lawrence movie about him going to medieval times. What was that even called? Black Knight. You read the synopsis and you're like, this looks fire. I'll check it out. Um, I've been watching Solar Opposites. I'm trying to catch up because I haven't watched the last season because the new season's coming out, but it's going to be the last season though. It's the final season. Solar Opposites. For now, I wish this show would continue. I honestly enjoy it now more than Rick and Morty. I do, right? At this current time, I do Solar Opposites, Rick and Morty. Yeah. 2010s humor. I also watched the new episode of Spy Family. Um, yeah, I have to watch it still though. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, it's finally coming to an end too. My hero. Yeah, bro. They're coming to an end. I also watched Ron My Half. They came out with a new episode for season 2. Yeah. It was on Netflix. Like, you open it up and it's like one of the things that showed up on top. Yeah. Ron My Half, new episode. So they're going to come out weekly again. I'll check it out once I finish. How do you know? Clearly. What about you, Jesus? You watch anything this week? Hell yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was being nice. They whip all the graphics designer into to shape. They're like, get to work. No, no home time for you. So with that, let's roll the credits. So yeah, I'm guessing y'all are gonna recommend the games you've been playing. Yeah, these people just wanted a reason to hate. Yeah. It's so misogynistic. So next week I don't know what we're gonna do because the movie that comes out is Tron 2. I can check right now, but I don't think so. There's this movie called Roof Man. I don't know anything about it. Roof Man. Oh, I think we saw this trailer. He robbed 45 McDonald's, escaped from prison, lived in a Toys R Us for 6 months. Toys R Us. Yeah, that one. All right, we'll do Roof Man. Kristen Dunst is in it, and Channing Tatum. Tron. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's got a scene in there. Jared Leto. Uh, what is it? Uh, Jeff Bridges, Gillian Anderson or Gillian Anderson. I don't pronounce the name. Evan Peters, Cameron. Oh, Hassan Minaj is in it. Hassan Minaj is in Tron Ares. Yeah, I don't know, but he's in it. I'm kind of curious now. Half a second. We're not gonna talk. I hated that movie. Don't bring it up. You don't remember that? You and I were like hating on it. Javier loved it. It's horrible. What if next week we just do a rewatch of Free Guy as a review? We could. It's like this movie just came out, y'all. It's on Disney Plus and on Hulu. All right, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for visiting the Sleeping Cinema. Until next time, bye.